Welcome back, survivors, to another episode of our Fallout 4 survival run featuring Jolene, Wasteland Queen. Today's going to be a big day. We have a lot of quests to do a lot of running around for, and quite a few things to do to complete them, so let's get started. Our first stop is Diamond City to turn in and advance a few quest lines. We hand over the baseball memorabilia to Mo, and some mutated fern over to Solomon to make up the XP we need for a level up. This grabs us the next rank of the Sandman perk, which further increases all of our damage with silenced weapons. We then run over to see Nick, letting him know that not only did we find out that Sean was handed off to the Institute, we also buried Kellogg under 6 feet of thermonuclear ash. Fortunately, the Institute's errand boy was almost as much machine as man, so we can take his brain bits that we salvaged from his corpse over to Nick's friend Dr. Amari in Good Neighbor. On our way to that general area, we stop off to do a quest run at the Hallucinogen Inc. building. It's stuffed with psychoactive gas and doped out gunners going kill crazy, but that's just another Sunday in the apocalypse for our girl. Fortunately, they're too busy trying to kill off each other to pay much attention to us, and we take full advantage of it. We don't forget to grab a copy of the Tesla Science magazine for a permanent boost to energy weapon crits as we're looting our way through, and we clear a few gunners off the back stairwell before heading down to the basement. Here, we reset the master password terminal to get access to the Hallucinogen lab, and then sneak attack the gunner commander in the basement to clear out the dungeon. This nets us a lot of chems and components, but most importantly, the hallucinogen canisters that we need for our friendly good neighbor drug dealer, Fred Allen. From Hallucinogen, we cut through central Boston to get back to the Old North Church and to Deacon. He continues to sing our praises. Keep up the praise, Deacon. You're one of my favorite serfs. And we officially join the railroad. We head downstairs to turn in our quest to Dr. Carrington and start looting everything we can carry from the place. We pick up a few quests and, hey, neat, there's some beds here. Those will be useful for when we need to save. Next stop, the Pikmin Gallery to do a little reconnaissance for Good Neighbor's very own Mayor Hancock. While the raiders outside normally aren't that much trouble. Hey, Jolene. What do you need, hon? I don't think you put your armor back on. Oh, well, thanks for the clue, sugar. Also, remember how you were just in the railroad HQ with all those lovely beds? I think you need to stop talking now before I get angry. So, that ordeal over, we wake up back at Hangman's Alley and start our run once more going to Diamond City. This time, however, after finishing our business with Mo, Solomon, and Nick in the Great Green Jewel of the Commonwealth, we skip Hallucinogen entirely and just crack a signal grenade to bring us to the Railroad HQ. You know, as convenient as these vertibirds are, I think the most impressive thing about them is their phasing technology. It's really a remarkable piece of engineering. It just works. Unfortunately, our pilot cannot read a map and drops us off in Boston Commons. So we decide to take this opportunity to test ourselves against the super mutant behemoth without the benefit of air support or power armor. One healthy dose of Psycho Jet and our combat shotgun turns the corpse of our foe into a plot piece for an EDM raid. From there, we make the long trek back to Old North Church because our pilot sucked.
We made a good team.
And then reintroduce ourselves to pick up our quests and head out again. Still without saving, because I learned from my mistakes, I swear. This time, however, we sneak up on the outer guards and get quite a few good shots in on them, tearing through them before we have in practice. The raiders here are looking for Pikmin, but we ruin their plans with a baseball grenade, which apparently causes some of the raiders upstairs to accidentally set off a few of their own traps for further mayhem. Gotta love explosives. We see the signs of Pikmin's handiwork absolutely everywhere. Literal blood-fueled art on the walls and corpses posed every which way. A few more dead raiders and a bed that we finally save in, and we clear our way through a hidden path behind the walls and into the tunnels under the building. We loot and murder along the way before finally arriving to find the artist himself cornered by the raiders. We save him from them, and he offers to reward us.
My house again.
But we kind of decide that we don't want this manic serial killer floating around our wasteland because he wants to stop him from getting bored with the raiders. Sorry, Pikmin, you did good work, but you're just a liability. Next to his corpse is a copy of the Astoundingly Awesome Tales for us to grab, which gives us a permanent plus 5% poison resistance, and then it's back to the surface. Our next pit stop is the Cabot House to meet the eccentric, supernatural obsessed Jack Cabot and pick up some work from him that we'll get to in another episode.
But I'm not talking
We
about
head out once more, starting towards the caravan town of Bunker Hill, and grabbing an information bed drop for the railroad along the way. We also rent a room once we're there for a few hours sleep and another save. Up the stairs of Bunker Hill's central monument, we find a copy of Live and Love for a permanent bonus to our XP gain from charisma checks with male NPCs, before heading into the trader hub proper to talk to Old Man Stockton about the details of our railroad quest.
That's
We also grab some legendary armor pieces from the vendor there that we'll use once we have the components to upgrade. Just outside of Bunker Hill, we kill Smiling Kate with one frag grenade, one molly, and one bullet in truly poetic fashion. And then spend our resulting level up to train our agility a point higher so we can start taking the ninja perk for huge sneak damage bonuses later. On our way to our next target, we unlock the Automatron DLC by rescuing and befriending Ada before we send her back to Hangman's Alley.
Are you okay?
We'll get to the DLC eventually, but not just yet. We had to deal with the last named raider on our list for the Silver Shroud quest, and get completely blindsided by his critical power. The resulting firefight is chaotic, messy, and all-around panic, but we make it through and put a bullet through Northy for our trouble. Finally, we head over to meet up with Old Man Stockton once again, only to find Ada's already clearing the rendezvous point out. Damn, might be something more to these robots than I thought. We'll have to get you sorted out soon. We start the long quest of escorting the railroad agent and the escape synth to the safe house without much trouble.
It's nice to meet you.
A few bullets clear out most of the raiders on the way. One super mutant decides it wants to be the bullet. Damn, that went far. And another decides they want it to be a sun. Finally, some fun sniping at a lonely glowing one on the river turns into an unexpected fishing trip, and we are at the safe house. We stop off for some supplies, a copy of Guns and Bullets magazine to raise our ballistic critical damage, and some sleep in a save before we head back to the railroad HQ. I told you it was a long trip this time. We drop off some quests, pick up some more quests, and then head back out to run some errands. There's a particular quest reward that we're kinda gunning for, but I can't remember which one has it. And this is about how well I can do a survival run, not how well a wiki can, so Jolene's gotta do the footwork until we can find it. We make our way back to Hallucigen, repeating what we did last time and clearing out the buildings possible before looting all the chems we can find. Finally, it's time to hit up Good Neighbor.
Hancock.
We swing by to see the mayor to complete the Pikmin Gallery quest, and then we drop off the Hallucigen canister off with Fred Allen for some more caps and XP. We rent a room, save with a proper sleep in a proper bed, and then head over to the memory den. We meet Nick here for what is probably the most interesting quest on your initial run, and the most infuriating on all subsequent ones. We hop into the memory pods with Nick and a little bit of Kellogg's brain that we have, and we literally take a walk down memory lane. Fortunately, we can skip most of the flashbacks and sequences by just rushing down the paths. But we do get stuck watching the cutscene at the end. On the plus side, it does drop us the info that we need. The Institute entrance is actually a remote teleporter, and one Dr. Brian Virgil has gone rogue and is hiding out in the glowing sea. We head out from there, learning from Irma on the way that our friend Kent from the Silver Shroud quest has been kidnapped, and the raiders want to see us about our activities. Whoops. The ghost of Kellogg haunts Nick, and we leave him behind as we continue on our way. We start following the water line north and discover a kid who tells us that here there are
You saw something out there?
status.
Did you see it?
One
The
quick
big guy in the
radioactive bath
water?
later, and we discover an ancient Chinese submarine with a ghoul captain. Not one to judge, and the war
I'm
being
not
over
a
for
threat.
200 plus years, we decide to help him out by agreeing to grab some parts while we're out in the
Trying to
wasteland.
fit.
Already being on the river when we come out, we figure the fastest way to get to our next side quest is going to be through the water. So we pop a whole bunch of meds and start swimming. This burns through our anti-raz, our antibiotics, and our rations real fast. But we'll be going home to restock soon, and it is much quicker to swim than crawl through the center of the city. We grab the next dead drop for the railroad, and then hail an air cab over to our final destination for this grand tour. The sky starts turning green and foggy with radiation, and we land with a full-blown rad storm at Kendall Hospital, an ex-safe house of the railroad that's been overrun. We murder our way through the raiders that have made their base in the shantytown tower that they built in the ruins, and then just for fun, we pop a stealth boy and get the drop on the Deathclaw they keep for cage matches in the basement. Our job here complete, we head out and finally make our way home. That's about all for our actual quest progress today, but we do have a little bit more to do. We sleep for a save and the bonus XP you get from being well rested, and then start crafting. Buckets of chem, food, and drink get us a level up that we spend on the 4th rank of the Gun Nut perk to unlock the best mods for ballistic weapons, and I think that's going to call for an arsenal change. The next stretch of our journey is going to take us on a long loop south of central Boston's ruins, and the maps get more dangerous the further south we are. In order to mitigate that, we're going to go full Terminator. Our latest power armor frame from the Brotherhood uses up about a metric ton of crafting components to be upgraded, but we improve the damage resistance of each piece by several stages, throw some explosive shielding on all of the pieces to mitigate our own splash damage and not at all because of untreated trauma from our earlier death, and then finally slap on some mods to give the legs, helmet, and torso a little extra oomph. These, respectively, give us improved carrying capacity, improved fast hits chance, and a lessened chance for addiction each time we use chems. Our weapons get special treatment now. We take the Overseer's Guardian, swap it to use the higher quality .308 round, and finally get a silencer for it. This is unlocked because we have Gun Nut 4, and now we're going to start using this instead of our laser rifle as our main go-to weapon. With perks to buff both our sneaking ability, our sneak attack damage, and our silenced weapon damage, this is going to be a monster of a gun that we can hunt quickly from the shadows. We turn a plasma pistol into a plasma shotgun for a change of pace from our regular shotgun, and its lightweight, insane damage, and absolutely respectable fire rate are going to turn it into a lethal close-range option. With those two guns and our trusty silenced long-range sniper, as well as a hefty pile of grenades, we drop off our regular armor in storage and hop into our new war gear for a test run against some real life. That'll be it for Jolene this time around, but join us next time as we complete our run through the wasteland to gear up, wrap up some loose ends, and prepare before we head into the Glowing Sea to find our way into the Institute. Until next time, may you find good hunting, good looting, and good time.